Parents Jessica Ross and Treveon Taylor lost their baby Treveon Taylor Jr. to homicide. It turns out the practitioner in charge of the birth had applied so much force to free the child from the mother's canal that he severed the spine vertebrae, leading to the child's death. The events leading to the heartbreaking outcome began when Jessica Ross went to Southern Regional Medical Center in July 2023 with the expectation of a healthy delivery. Jessica Ross and Treveon Isaiah Taylor Sr. welcomed their first child, Treveon Jr., with immense anticipation. However, they would later receive news that would turn into unimaginable grief after the delivery. This tragedy would go as far as legal battle and raise questions about medical practices. Like many expectant mothers, she entered the hospital with the expectation of a routine and healthy delivery. Several pictures surfaced online of the mother flaunting her baby bump. However, what followed was a series of complications during labor, specifically shoulder dystocia, a condition where the baby's shoulder becomes lodged behind the pubic bone. When the labor got intense, Ross requested a cesarean section, but she was denied the procedure and forced to push for 3 agonizing hours, ultimately resulting in the baby becoming trapped in the birth canal. After labor and childbirth, the baby was said to be born without life. It was later discovered that Dr. Tracy St. Julian, the obstetrician attending the birth, applied what was described as excessive traction to the baby's neck in an attempt to deliver him vaginally. The forceful maneuver led to the tragic decapitation of the baby, causing severe injuries including multiple spine and facial bone fractures. The baby's body was eventually delivered through an emergency C-section, but the parents were not informed of the decapitation immediately. In fact, the parents requested to see the child, but they were surprisingly denied. Instead, they were allegedly misled by hospital staff, who attempted to convince them to cremate the baby without a proper autopsy to cover the fact that the doctor had done a very bad and unprofessional job in the process. This was a suspicious act. In August, Jessica Ross, 20, and Treveon Isaiah Taylor Sr., 21, filed a lawsuit against Dr. Tracy St. Julian and Southern Regional Medical Center, where Ross had gone into labor on July 9th, alleging gross negligence, fraud, wrongful death, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. You can't possibly imagine how the couple was dealing with the traumatic experience while simultaneously seeking justice for their baby. They went ahead to get a seasoned litigator with a track record of holding negligent medical professionals and institutions accountable, and they immediately began building a case against the doctor and the hospital. They have accused the hospital of failing to provide adequate care, not allowing the parents to touch or hold their deceased child, and misleading them about the circumstances of the delivery. The lawsuit contends that the doctor used inappropriate and forceful techniques during the C-section, leading to the catastrophic outcome. The investigation into the case involved reviewing medical records from the delivery, interviewing hospital staff present during the birth, and potentially consulting with medical experts specializing in obstetrics and complications like shoulder dystocia. The findings in this investigation could be crucial evidence during the trial. As the investigation progressed, disturbing details emerged about the doctor's conduct during the delivery. It was alleged that the physician had disregarded standard protocols and exhibited a concerning lack of judgment in attempting to dislodge the baby's head through excessive force. Moreover, there were questions about whether the medical team had adequately monitored the mother's labor progression and appropriately addressed potential complications. The hospital, too, faced scrutiny for its policies and procedures. Had the facility provided adequate training and resources to its staff? Were there systemic issues that contributed to this devastating outcome? These questions loomed large as the legal team explored potential negligence on the part of the healthcare institution. The medical examiner's ruling of homicide further fueled the family's determination to seek accountability for their son's tragic death. The father of the child at an interview said,
"To us, they ain't let us touch him. We don't like it. We just want justice for our son."
This was the first time the baby's father had spoken publicly. The baby's mother, Jessica Ross, was too distraught to speak at the press conference. The medical examiner's office said the immediate cause of death was a fracture dislocation with complete transection to the upper cervical spine and spinal cord due to shoulder dystocia, arrest of labor, and fetal entrapment in the birth canal.
While Dr. St. Julian was applying excessive traction on the baby's neck in the face of the shoulder dystocia, this is something that is clearly contraindicated. No credible, no reasonably competent obstetrician should ever do this. You're supposed to do maneuvers and different maneuvers in order to basically get the baby out. And if in fact that doesn't work, then you go to a C-section.
The family's attorneys, led by Dr. Roderick Edmond, had been vocal in their pursuit of justice, emphasizing the hospital's alleged attempts to cover up the true nature of the baby's death.
What happened? Why was there not an alert put out all throughout the hospital to say we have a shoulder dystocia so that new eyes could come in and look? Why weren't the proper procedures done in terms of maneuvers?
The hospital and Dr. St. Julian have denied any wrongdoing. The cause of death was initially unclear, but the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office later classified it as a homicide. This classification indicates the death resulted from human action, not natural causes. In defense of the couple, Edmond in an interview said that what he considered the most offensive was the fact that the hospital lied about the case. There were a lot of cover-ups. The hospital actually failed to tell this couple the details and the specifics of what happened. They said that a free autopsy was unavailable and went ahead to encourage the couple to get the baby cremated. This gives a very bad fragrance. Edmond made it clear that he had had several cases of fetal deaths, and it has always been normal and absolutely right for the parents to desire to see their baby. Some of them would love to at least touch the child one last time before letting go. According to reports, when the family of the recently deceased child was finally allowed to see the body, the hospital allegedly presented the infant in a way that obscured the cause of death. This act has raised concerns about transparency and potential mishandling of the situation. Adding to the concern, the medical examiner's office reportedly only learned about the infant's death from the funeral home, not the hospital itself. This unusual procedure has triggered an investigation involving law enforcement officials. The possibility of criminal charges remains under evaluation. A representative for Southern Regional Medical Center could not be immediately reached for comment. The hospital told CNN on Tuesday it was unable to comment because of pending litigation. In the aftermath of this tragedy, the medical authorities launched a comprehensive investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. The Medical Board of Georgia, which licenses and regulates physicians, conducted its own investigation into Dr. St. Julian's actions. This could potentially result in disciplinary actions ranging from reprimands to license suspension or revocation, depending on the severity of the findings. The hospital where the incident occurred has also come under intense scrutiny. There are questions about whether proper protocols were followed, whether the medical team was adequately trained and equipped to handle such complications, and whether there were any lapses in communication or decision-making that contributed to this tragic outcome. As the investigation unfolds, the potential for legal action looms large. The couple pursues a wrongful death lawsuit against the doctor and the hospital, seeking compensation for their unimaginable loss and emotional trauma. Such cases involving medical malpractice and negligence can result in substantial financial settlements or jury awards, though no amount of money can truly compensate for the loss of a child. Furthermore, the Georgia Medical Board and other regulatory bodies are expected to take disciplinary action against the doctor involved, potentially revoking or suspending their medical license, depending on the findings of the investigation. The hospital may also face penalties, fines, or scrutiny from accreditation organizations if it is determined that their policies and procedures were inadequate or not followed properly. This case has also ignited a broader discussion about the importance of patient safety, transparency in the medical field, and the need for comprehensive training and protocols that prevent such tragic incidents from occurring. Healthcare organizations and professionals across the country will learn from this, and they will reevaluate their practices and implement additional safeguards to ensure the well-being of mothers and infants during the delicate process of childbirth. While the legal and professional consequences are still unfolding, the emotional toll on the couple is immeasurable. They have experienced a loss that no parent should ever have to endure, and their healing process will undoubtedly be long and arduous. Support from loved ones, counseling services, and perhaps even advocacy efforts to prevent similar tragedies may provide some solace, but the memory of their child's tragic birth will forever be etched in their hearts. This tragedy goes beyond the courtroom. Jessica and Treveon face an unimaginable future, grappling with the loss of their child and the emotional burden of the ongoing legal battle. This incident is likely to have a lasting impact on their lives. The medical community is also undoubtedly following this case closely. The outcome could influence birthing practices and protocols to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Medical professionals might reevaluate how to handle complex deliveries and potentially adopt stricter guidelines for using force during childbirth. This case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of patient safety and the potential consequences of medical malpractice. While the legal process seeks to establish accountability and provide some measure of justice for the parents, the true cost of this tragedy lies in the immeasurable loss they've suffered. What do you think should be done to the doctor in question? Do you think there would have been a better way to go about this? How far should this case go? Please drop your thoughts in the comments section. Please like and subscribe for more true crime stories. Until next time, stay safe out there.